In this video, I'll go over how to run your first PickFu poll, including features and options to customize your research. Let's start on the PickFu homepage. If you already have a PickFu account, sign in here. Signing in is helpful because if you have any credits in your account, they'll be used towards the purchase of this poll. And if you're on a subscription plan, your discounted rates and enabled features will be automatically applied. But don't worry if you forget. You'll have another opportunity to sign in before you complete checkout. If you're totally new to PickFu, go ahead and click the New Poll button to get started. This takes us to the first step in creating a poll. In the poll question field, input the question you'd like to ask respondents. We recommend keeping the language plain and objective to get the most unbiased results. You might ask, which design do you prefer? Or which headline are you more likely to click? We have tips on writing unbiased questions in the PickFu Help Center. You'll also see popular questions from PickFu in this box to help give you ideas. Next, you'll input the options you want to test. These options can be plain text, up to 1,000 characters, a URL, images, or a video link. You'll see that there are two boxes for options A and B. By default, PickFu sets up a comparison poll, but if you only have one creative idea you want feedback on, choose Feedback. This is what is known as a PickFu solo poll. Let's say you have one video that you'd like to run a solo poll on. Input an open-ended question like, after you've watched this video, what is your impression of the brand? In the additional question detail, add your YouTube or Vimeo link. By doing so, the video will automatically embed. Just be sure not to add any additional text with your video link or the embedding will not work. Use the Preview Your Poll button to make sure the video is working properly. Always preview your poll before running it and check for typos and other errors because you cannot edit your poll once it has started collecting responses. Once everything looks good, click out. Most polls on PickFu are comparison polls where you'll show poll respondents more than one option. So let's go over how that works. In the poll question field, ask a question like, which book cover do you prefer? Now upload your options. There are two ways you can add images. The first is clicking the camera icon. Navigate to the image file and click Open. And you can see that the image appears. The second way to add an image is simply to drag and drop the file into the option box, like so. In a comparison poll, you can add up to 8 options. So let's say you have more than the default 2 options. Click Add Third Option. Drag and drop the third option into the Option C box. Once you've clicked Add Third Option, you'll see you have to make a choice between a ranked poll and a head-to-head poll. What's the difference? Let's choose a ranked poll and then use the preview function. In a ranked poll, poll respondents will see the options all at once. They will rank them in order of their preference. First choice, second choice, third choice. PickFu will then aggregate their votes to determine a winner. Each respondent will write one comment explaining why they ranked them this way. In a head-to-head poll, respondents see your options 2 at a time. So when we preview the poll, we see respondents participate in multiple polls. In this case, you're polling option A against option C, option C against option B, and option B against option A. Respondents write a comment each time they vote. So in this poll, because they vote 3 separate times, they write 3 separate explanations. The head-to-head format gives you more written feedback and a more complete picture of how your options fared against one another. For this walkthrough, however, let's keep things simple. I'll delete the third option by clicking Remove C right here. Now we're back to a classic 2-option PickFu poll. Let's preview the poll and make sure it's the way we want it before we move on to the next step. Everything looks good, is spelled correctly, and is ready for the next step where we choose the audience for our poll. By default, PickFu's panel is chosen, but you'll see here there is an option for My Own Audience. What does that mean? When you bring your own audience to PickFu, it means that once you publish your poll, you'll get a URL to share on Facebook, Twitter, or with your email contacts. You can use this URL to poll friends and family or your own customers, and best of all, it's free. Today, let's choose PickFu's panel. It's much faster, you're guaranteed responses, and by polling people who don't know you personally, they come to your project with fresh eyes. PickFu's panel is comprised of people from all kinds of demographic backgrounds. They're each paid a stipend to participate in your poll, and they've also signed a non-disclosure agreement. Next, choose the number of respondents you want to answer the poll. You can poll 50 to 500 people at a time. Now you have the option to add audience targeting. This means that you can limit who answers the poll. Maybe you only want to poll women. Find gender and choose female. And now, only females in PickFu's panel will be invited to participate in the poll. There are many demographic and behavioral traits you can include here. For instance, you can poll people based on their age, income, reading habits, mobile device, diet, and more. Notice that as we add various features, the pricing calculator over on the right will update. Some features require a paid subscription plan. For instance, we may want to add more criteria to our audience targeting. Maybe we don't just want to poll women, but specifically married women. Because I've chosen 2 audience targeting traits, you can see in the pricing calculator that a professional subscription plan is required. The monthly cost of that plan will be added to the total. Next, let's look at our poll reporting options. The first toggle you'll see is to publicly list results in PickFu's poll gallery. If you don't want your poll publicly listed, toggle this off and your poll becomes private, accessible only to you and anyone you share the URL with. The second toggle asks whether you want to enable CSV downloading. If you'd like to download your full results in a spreadsheet, toggle this on. Finally, you're asked what audience information you'd like included in your results. By default, we'll share the gender and age of all respondents with you. If you're interested in knowing more about the people who responded to your poll, choose any additional information you'd like reported here. Now, let's check out. On this screen, you'll input your name and email, or if you already have a PickFu account, you can sign in. You'll also add your credit card information to our secure, PCI-compliant payment server. Once you've completed checkout, your poll will start receiving responses right away. Most polls complete in 15 minutes or less. You can watch your poll results roll in, or you can wait for the email telling you your poll is complete. This is what a completed poll looks like. You can see up top the number of respondents polled, as well as the audience targeting criteria we chose. Over on the right, you'll find a link to download a CSV file. The green box denotes that option A was the winner, with a relative score of 58 from 29 out of 50 votes. Below, you'll see comments from the respondents who preferred that option. When you hover over an individual written response, you'll see demographic information about that respondent. Below the comments, you'll find graphs of the traits you chose in your poll reporting options. And there you have it. Everything you need to know to run your first PickFu poll. Get started now by heading over to PickFu.com.